Hi, I'm KayMarie, and I am the host of And Live in Crochet. Today, I'm going to be crocheting my very last Ravens bucket hat. It's been a long time coming with this, and I'm so excited to finally be at the end. So last time we were working on hat number 7, and today we're finally at hat number. Okay, we were at hat number 3. I'm sorry, but today we're finally at hat number 7. So my challenge was to crochet as many hats as I could from my yarn stash, and I have successfully done that, because now I'm down to my last little bit of white acrylic yarn, and I'm actually nervous that I'm not going to have the amount that I need to actually finish the white brim on my hat. Today we're going to try a new challenge, which is going to be crocheting as fast as I can to finish this hat. So this hat is actually not my original design. On my original design for the one size fits many, I have the seam after 2 rows, but on this hat I actually made a mistake and I put the seam after 3 rows, which makes the crown a little bit bigger, but it's still a one size fits many because the size change isn't so dramatic that it's a completely different size. One size fits many is about like small to medium size hat to fit most heads. So it's just a little bit bigger than what's on the mannequin, but not by much. So we're going to keep the same amount of rows necessary to make the sides of the hat, so it'll be the same length. It's just we're going to have one more purple row so that it's the same amount on the side, and it all equals out. So yeah, I'm very excited. I learned something new this week, which is just how fast I can actually crochet. I thought it took me so much longer to make these hats. I thought it was taking me like 3 days or like 3-4 hours. But I figured out that if I focus, it really doesn't take me that long. So I'm just going to put on our music now. Hopefully it loads up and we don't have any technical difficulties this time around. I used 100% acrylic yarn on this hat. And at this point, we have completely finished the crown. So we're going to continue with the side. Okay, hopefully you could hear me the entire time. I did not use my microphone, but to do any other talking moving forward, I'm just going to mic myself up later. So let's get to crocheting. Okay, I've mic'd myself and we're going to start with something so valuable that I bought from my local yarn shop, which is a crochet ring. When I went in there, the lady told me that they had exploded in popularity since TikTok. Actually, 2 comes in the container. I've been wearing the silver one, but it's gold in there as well. It's just a peacock. Oh, there we go. And it's a gold and a silver. This is definitely one of the best tools I've invested in, and it came in this little case. So cute, so grandma chic. So when I start this, I usually try to look for where I left off, even though I designed this hat to be seamless. I guess I just like the idea of picking up where I left off because that's what I do a lot of the times when I crochet. And I just want to keep in mind, where the beginnings and the ends are. But technically, it doesn't really matter for this style hat because the seams are mostly invisible. It's only if you look very, very closely at the hat, and if you have a trained crocheter's eye, I believe, you will see, where the rounds begin and end. So how am I going to do this? Every time I turn on the camera, it's like I forget how to do my pattern. Thank you to everybody who's joining me on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. I'm so excited to be streaming on Facebook for the first time since I have started this podcast. Oh my goodness, I almost didn't do my episode tonight. I think I get into this phase where I overthink things so much and I start freaking myself out about it. And then I also realized I think I was putting too many parts into my show to the point where it was just Wait, I don't know. Where should Heidi be? Oh, but guys, by the way, meet Heidi. I'm sorry she does not have her makeup on. We're gonna fix that. I mean, she's a really self-conscious about the way she looks, because she's blank. But we're gonna give her a makeover sooner than later. So definitely subscribe to see us makeover Heidi, because she's ready to be the queen that she feels like on the inside. Yeah, so let me actually do a stitch. I think sometimes I get a little bit like camera shy when I start crocheting on live sometimes, because sometimes I'll just like start making my first stitch and then I like can't do it. Or it just doesn't look right. Like it's just not good enough. I gotta, like, right now I feel like I have to take it out. I've made a standing double crochet so many times, and now that this camera is on, I can't do it, but I'm gonna figure it out. Just give me a minute. Okay, so I just realized I finally did a successful like standing double crochet and a granny stitch, but I put it in the wrong spot. Guys, stop making me nervous. Like, that's what the problem is, because you're looking at me. I don't remember my pattern. I don't know how to make these stitches. Like, y'all about to get it from me, because you're not gonna keep messing me up like this. That's what's not gonna happen. Like, what the heck? Okay. See, now it looks crazy. What in the world? How? Now I'm thinking, how was I doing this before? I've made over a dozen of these hats. Over a dozen. And all of a sudden, did I even do that right? Oh my gosh. I feel like I can't do it. Oh yeah, because I was doing it wrong. Oh gosh. Okay, here we go. Wait, it still looks crazy. Just close your eyes. As soon as you close your eyes or just look away, I'm gonna have this done in a way that's acceptable for my quality control standards. Okay. I think that's enough. Is it though? No, it looks raggedy. You know what? Just, oof. Okay, I finally like made it past the very first stitch. I finally made it past. I need you to be proud of me. And definitely watch my page, KayMarieFashion, for a video on me, Kay, struggling to make a standing double crochet for however minutes straight that was. Okay. Let's do it like this. Okay, yeah, I didn't weave that in like I meant to. I try to weave my ends as I go along. But we're going to just move forward because we have finally established our rhythm, and let's not lose that. So this is a new camera setup I'm trying. I apologize for anybody who misses seeing my face, but I was tired of seeing my pixelated face through my phone camera. The connection is often really bad for streaming like through my phone. I have to get another camera so we can do more than one angle together. Or maybe I'll try something new. Like when I'm in the editing room, I may just record video of myself then. Sort of do like an Emma Chamberlain cutting room interruption and give you some behind the scenes. Oh, sorry. I hit the camera. Behind the scenes reflection on my experience and creative choices. That might be fun. Yeah, thank you to everybody who's watching my web show in Living Crochet. It's been so much fun trying to make this, and I apologize to anybody who was looking forward to watching the show last week. I am a college student, and that was my first week back from spring break. I just was not prepared to pick up my crochet show right away. I had to get myself, organized. And frankly, it's only been a few weeks since I've been back doing this show. I started it in the summer of 2024, and I stopped for a few months because I kind of wanted to decide what I wanted it to be and just what I wanted to do. And now I'm back at it because I did like it, and I think I just have to get more organized with, once again, still what I want it to be. I'm still deciding what I want the show to be. I mean, I know I want it to be about crochet, but I think I want to focus it on like crochet pattern design, because as a crocheter myself, I was looking at a lot of videos on YouTube on how to design patterns, and I felt that I was struggling to find information about how exactly to do that. A lot of people have tutorials and patterns on how they made their thing, but I was looking more for a guide on how to make specifically what I wanted. Sort of like when people go to fashion school and they make clothes. They don't necessarily teach you like how to make. The professor isn't going to teach you how to make their design per se. They're going to teach you how to be a fashion designer. So I was looking online for someone who is teaching other people how to be like crochet designers and resources just on how to do that. And I was really struggling. I did find some things, like I did find some really good YouTubers. I think her name is Maham. I don't really know how to pronounce her name, but she showed me how to do intarsia crochet, and that was very valuable for me. And I sort of compiled a lot of the, videos that I found online, into building like, information and knowledge for myself on how I wanted to make my project. So my very first big crochet project was actually, I can try to pull it up. Wait, let me try to do it like this. Okay, not this video. This is the lookbook that I showed everybody last week, but I have a different video of this. Here we go. So I made an autism awareness scarf a few months ago, and somebody ordered it like as a commission from me. And it took me a lot of time to make it because, first of all, I had to figure out how to make it. And it was pretty difficult because I had to learn like intarsia crochet to do it. I hadn't ever done that crochet technique before, and I had to use a lot of different colors, and it was hard. I'm not even gonna lie, I had to learn like color work charts. I had to make my own color work chart. Yeah, I mean, I definitely took a lot of lessons from that, but it kind of made me want to fill in the gap on like how to design patterns. Not necessarily just a pattern, like a specific pattern on how to make, but just principles on like tricks with intarsia crochet and I don't know, like if you have a picture that you want to put into your sweater, like how to do that. Actually, I bought a really good book. I'll show it to you sometime. It's called Hooktionary, I think. Oh, wait, the video's done. Oh, because I didn't have a looping. That's kind of... Wait, was it ever playing? Sorry, I can't like watch the video. Okay, I think it's set now to loop and play for me at the same time. Well, I don't know if my laptop can handle it. Oh. Nice. I'm gonna try to let it figure itself out and just keep crocheting because now my laptop is frozen. So there's not much I can do about that. I need a technology upgrade. I hear the music is still playing. I would like to take down the video because that might be too much for my laptop. I don't know, my laptop is hit or miss. Like sometimes it can stream 2 different video feeds and play a video on itself. And then other times it just freezes up. Let me just do a little less. I'll just pause my talking until we can get the video back. Okay, I'm gonna be bold and try talking on the live stream again. My computer is frozen up, but somehow my stream is still working. So I'm just gonna talk a little bit and see if we can still chat as we crochet while my computer is figuring itself out. Whenever I stop, I'm trying to just wiggle my finger on the trackpad to make sure it doesn't fall asleep, because I think if it falls asleep, the stream is done for her. But I'm just happy that we're still live somehow, some way. Probably better that I don't talk, because my audio may not be transmitting very well, and that may reduce your enjoyment of the house music. So one thing I want to say about buying a 1 pound skein of yarn is that there are lots of yarnices in there and it can be scary to pull out. That's what I had on the table. It's just a huge clump of looped yarn that was in the center of the skein, but that may be the third one I've pulled out since I've been working with it. Also, I'm working with different brands of yarn. This black yarn is very soft, and I don't remember what brand it is actually. I don't think it's Big Twist. I think the white is Big Twist. The purple is Red Heart. And the black might be, I think there's a brand called like One Love or something. Something like that. And oh gosh, I did not do this right. Yeah, the standing double crochet I made to start this is not the cutest. Okay, yeah, I think I got it. Shoot. Okay, okay. Yeah, that's not my finest. But onward. Yeah, it's kind of harder to make like tighter, firmer stitches because this yarn is so loose and soft. I mean, it makes for a nice garment, but when it comes to making something extra twisty like a standing stitch, it's a little more difficult to work with. You also have to be careful of working with different brands of yarn, because that I think can affect your gauge. I think the black stitches on my hat naturally come out a little tighter because they're a little easier to pull, and yeah. I have like 4 rows left with black, and then I'll be completely done with the black on this hat. So I'm gonna just try to push through and finish this. Thank you for everyone who tuned in. Okay, so when I finish this row, I'm going to take a little break to show you the other versions of this hat that I've made along the way. I'm very proud of this hat because it took me a long time to get a final design and figure out how many stitches I needed and just figure out even how to construct a bucket hat. And I have a lot of my leftover like prototypes, I guess. So I wanted to show you the trial and error of my pattern design as I learned how to make this granny stitch bucket hat. I'm so glad that I took the time to figure it out because I'm using the pattern to make Raven's hats, but really I can use it to make the same granny stitch hat in a variety of colors. Like it could be in I think it's called a variegated yarn, or just different color combinations, as long as hook size and yarn weight are the same, the hat's proportions will come out the same. So I'm really glad that I took time to learn how to make a classic hat from a classic stitch that is very versatile, timeless, that I like. And maybe the granny stitch bucket hat will be a staple in my boutique. I've talked about that before, but now that I'm coming down Finish Street for the first batch of Raven's granny stitch bucket hats for the inventory of my first table. I plan on putting out a table at a craft fair or a vending event sometime this summer. I'm just kind of reflecting upon like how I finally got this far to do this. It's definitely one of those things where you have an idea in your mind for a long time, and then you finally like piece it together enough to try it. And of course, when you try it, it's not exactly how you imagine, but the version you get inspires you to make something else and something else and something else and something else. So I'm just really glad that I stuck with this enough to have something that I really like and could be a staple for my store moving forward. Yeah, so that is the end of our second granny stitch row. And the next row, I have to make a seam. But before I do that, I'll join these rows. Oh gosh. Okay. So we're just gonna pause this right here. This is what we have so far. Not bad, not bad. This is what we're gonna end up with. So, you can't really see that one. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Okay. Yeah, this is what you're gonna end up with, and this is what we have now. Okay, so setting that to the side. Let me. Oh, I can't do my little card. Okay, so this is the point in the show where I would show you my show and tell. So if you just go back to my very first live stream, you'll see me dealing with this stuff. This stuff is like the very first version of this hat that I tried to make. Stitches, like obviously, this is where we are now. And then I was not weaving as I went along. You know, the stitches are bigger. The pattern is essentially the same, but I had to figure out how to make the seam on here in a way that I liked. And it's a bit bulky. The seam is, so I figured out how to make it neater. And then this, at first I was making the seams like two separate pieces, but I've since learned this was just like a completely like unnecessary step. I mean, this looks kind of cute though, like just to have like strip of granny stitch like this. Maybe I can repurpose it for something else, because you know, I'm no longer looking at this as a failure. Like when I first did it, I was just kind of disappointed that I couldn't use it for anything, but now that I see it, you know, it's cute. It kind of looks like wide lace, so I don't think I want to take this far. I'm glad I still have these like prototypes too, because you know, in the moment I felt like I couldn't take them apart because I put so much effort into making them and figuring out this process. And now that I'm removed, it's like, oh, okay, this is like ugly to me. I may take this apart. Like, what is this? But these, you know, I don't really think I've seen, you know, any straps like this on anything like crochet. I think these are really cute. Like a lot of times people try to make like a cord to make straps for something, but granny stitch straps, okay, you know, maybe if we line them up, how do they look lined up? Okay, how do they look like slightly misaligned? It looks virtually the same. So okay, but we're gonna keep these strips. We're not gonna unravel. And this sort of just looks like a little doily. I may put this on something else, like to embellish it. But these are the first scraps of, you know, our final design. And then we actually have some defective hats. Like this bad boy, oh my gosh, this hat is huge. Like this, can I just, oh, I can't bend the iPad down anymore. Oh, let me just move it up. Yeah, so this hat is huge. So it's just way like too big, and the shape is not right. Like it doesn't have that bucket shape. It just kind of is round on top. It looks like a big cone. But I put a lot of work into it, clearly. Like it's a lot of stitches. I didn't block it, of course, but just so you can get a better idea of how it looks on somebody's head. Like and just for perspective, this is kind of the size of a teenager's head, but it's not a good looking hat. It's very misshapen. Okay, and then move bald Heidi. We've got this thing. I didn't ever finish the trim on this, and the shape is a little bit better, but it's still too big, and it's not right. Like the increases, it just looks like a big lampshade. It's kind of giving who is it? Oh, Tiffany, Breakfast at Tiffany's, like the big lampshade hat that she wore, except the old lady version, like with the granny stitch. So yeah, not a fan of that one. So next up, we've got this thing. I didn't even get out to the brim on this thing. I don't really remember what went wrong with this. Like looking at it just with the naked eye, it looks like nothing's wrong with it. Oh, well. Oh, okay. I didn't do the crown seam on this. Like I think I was trying to test to see if I actually need the seams that I made. And I think the answer is yes, I do. Because I mean, of course it's going to look like a skull cap without a brim, but yeah, I just didn't really like the way that the colorway was working. Like with this one, you know, it's just the right length. I think this one got a little too long, and I just didn't ever take it apart. I just started over. And then there's this one. I think this one I was making it too wide. Like it has that bucket shape up top. Oh, and I did put a seam in it, but it just, I think it wasn't flaring out the way I wanted it to. And I think I was making the brim too long with the purple here. With the, hold on, let me show you the purple here. Make it too long. So wait, let me just put this. So, and it's so wide too. Like it is so wide on the person's head. It's ridiculous. It's like a big pan. And it just doesn't have a good shape at all. It doesn't come like into the head. It's just wide. So that one didn't work. So I've got two more. There's this thing. In terms of style, someone's kind of killing it, but this is what I kind of realized, that the color combination for the hat matters a lot. Like you see, I like the purple, the white, purple, gold, but the black, white, gold just wasn't really good. And plus this hat, once again, is just too big. Like I have a problem with making things too big when I'm designing hats. But I learned through this process it's really important to crochet a swatch so that you have an idea of how big your stitches are, and you can even take measurements, and based on the size of your stitches on your swatch and the measurements you're trying to achieve for your garment, you can do the math to determine how many stitches you'll need for each piece and at where in your design. So all of these prototypes are really just a product of not preparing adequately to make the hat. This is, I think, the first finished version I made of the hat. The stitches, I think all my stitches are pretty good. But it's just pretty floppy. This hat is pretty floppy too, just because it's been blocked and it's been worn. This is my display only hat. But this one, I definitely got that bucket shape with this one. But what I didn't like about it was that I made the seam the color of the sides when I should have kept the seam the same color as the crown, just make it a continuation of the color previous. So, I should have just made the seam black here, but I made it white, and it kind of just ruined it for me. And then also, I think the trim here is cute, but once again, like the purple trim here is just my favorite. And also this hat is huge. Once again, it's just a huge hat, but this is the first time I think I got a wearable hat with that bucket shape and an okay looking brim. Truthfully, all of them look like lampshades, but of course the final version is the best. And it's the cutest lampshade. Lampshade for your head. So that is my show and tell of all of my granny stitch bucket hat prototypes until we got to our final version. And I learned how to make a hat bigger without adding stitches and a bunch of other crazy things that I was trying. So I really wanted to finish this hat on this live stream, but we've already been on here for a little over an hour, and I don't want to hold you all night. So definitely stay tuned on my page for the next time that we crochet the hat. But I did also promise that we were going to leave ends on this. So this is my inventory of Granny Stitch Raven's hats, and most of the ends are woven. The only end that's not woven is the one from the magic circle, and I have to sew that in. So I think I'm going to go back and do those. So all of them have the magic circle string hanging. And then when I started the stitches, I did crochet them into the stitch, but I wanted to go back and just sew them in so it's a little more secure. So I think I'm going to go back and do that after I have finished my last granny stitch hat. And then I also want to figure out how to make clothing tags. So if you know how to do that, or even if you sell that on your page, definitely let me know. Most of the hats I've made are one size fits many. One is an XL. Yeah, so I'm Kay. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast in Living Crochet, and please follow me as we continue to grow and evolve. I'll see you next Wednesday at 8:30, and hopefully we will be working on a new project. That project being something that I previewed for you last week, which was an autism awareness bucket hat work in progress. I want to update you on how that's coming along and what I did to solve the design issues I undoubtedly encountered while I was making it. So yeah, definitely please like and subscribe to my page, and I will see you next Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.